everyone, it's your friend Think Noodles, and welcome to Ask Think, episode number 165 for November 2015. And don't forget, guys, that Ask Think is now a monthly series rather than weekly. I get that question a lot, just thought I'd answer it right off the bat. Now, last month, I asked you guys if you could make any mod for Minecraft. You were a master coder. What would the mod be, and what would it be called? And the first one comes to us from Sophie Edelblut, and this is my little brother. He's 6 now, says he would make a Lego mod / texture pack, and it would make all the blocks have little bumps on top like Legos. The bumps would say Lego on them. And you know, there was, I'm not sure what version it was for. It's an older version, a Lego mod. And I've always wanted to put it into a ThinkSlab, but it's in a version that's too early for me to use. But man, I would love a Lego mod within Minecraft, because, you know, Minecraft's supposed to be digital Legos, and I just think it would be really cool to have little Legos that you can play with in Minecraft. Jacob Daltert says, if I were to make a mod, it would be called Constructive. It would have bacon everything and give lots of new blocks to Minecraft, and what an excellent name. I mean, putting bacon and construction together. I really like that one. Novacat says my mod would be an overlay mod. Allows you to have an image or video on your Minecraft screen so that you can follow along a building tutorial or use reference image as a guide. Someone who's building a YouTuber might need to see the skin or get a suggestion for the Noodletopia. You could use the picture to rebuild it. What? That would be amazing. I mean, I don't use mods on the Noodletopia or on the Noodle Planet. But that would be really helpful for, you know, well, a lot of series that I do. I might even use that mod on, because that's not really a gameplay mod. It's just to show something, like when I'm building the Haunted Mansion or something like that. That would be amazing to have just that reference there instead of like having my iPad or something else to just be right there on the screen with me. It'd be really cool. Almost forgot. I got all the way to rendering the video out, about 75% of the way done, and then I was like, oh, I forgot to credit Novacat for the new thumbnail. So that was Novacat, or that is Novacat's drawing on the thumbnail. Thank you so much for that. Bridget Donnelly says, don't you just, this one was great, it's like an advertisement. Don't you just hate it when you waste all your precious wood on pesky crafting tables or accidentally smelt too much sand? Well, my mod called the Vanilla Paradox would have ghost-like creatures called Paradox Warriors spawn around the world, and when killed, drop Paradox Shards, which are made to make reversible crafting tables and furnaces. That way you can smelt your glass block into sand and uncraft all the now useless crafting table. After all, if you have the mod, you will only need one. Love it. Really, I swear you're gonna be a very good like salesman marketing person with that. Michelle Perez says, if I could make my own mod, it would make the More Enderman mod. Long story short, I love Enderman. They're my favorite hostile mob in the game, so I've created backstories for my in-game character. I'm basically part Enderman, part human. So in the mod, unlike the one that already exists, these Endermen are the Endermen in my little fantasy Minecraft world. Mama Enderman, who takes care of you and protects you if you make friends with her. Then there's the pack, a pack of other hostile mobs that are friends with Mama Enderman, and it's rare when the whole pack comes to help you. Then there's the antagonist. This creature is gaming's biggest antagonist in the world society. When you come across this mob, it's just a big buff creature that looks like you're looking at its shadow all the time. The mob basically represents all people who call gaming a waste of time. Very, very cool. And a lot of these are pretty lengthy because you guys are very descriptive about your mods, and I love that. So Jack the Bat 45 said the mod I would create would be called the Bat Family. Look at my username, reference to Batman. You'll have a few items whenever you start a new world. Bat Doll, a captured bat, soul in a dark elemental gem. You will then have to find one more item called the Controller. It will only spawn in desert temples or jungle temples. To make it harder, there will be one item of each in a world. So if you lose one, that's it. Then you craft an item in a T-shape. You get the bat staff, will allow you to spawn a swarm of bats, and each with its unique ability: attacker, defender, and one that emits light, which would be really cool to have it follow you, you know, with like a dynamic light. But here's the real trick. You must have a stable house for them. It has to be made of stone, which represents a cave, and must have food for them to stay with you. The food will be fruit that grows in jungles, like apples, mangoes, bananas, as they are fruit bats. And when I first started reading it in Batman, I was thinking vampire bats. Get all the way to the end, and it's actually fruit bats. Really cool and so detailed. Pixel Kid Tyler says, okay, so my mod would be the acrobatics mod. You can do flips and backflips and cartwheels and add sweet karate action moves. It does front flip and fall. That would be awesome. There's the smart moving mod, but it's fairly limited in what it can do. And I think the acrobatics mod, especially if you put animations like the Moben's mod, would be really, really cool. And I'd totally use it in Things Lab. White Tie Fan says, this one's pretty tough. Either way, if I was able to code, I'd probably make an add-on to Galacticraft and make it slightly more realistic, like having it actually to orbit around Earth. Then you can go to the moon, and then after that, you can get in a high orbit around the sun and go to Mars and add in other planets, and then being able to go interstellar and then even intergalactic, which would be really cool. BCB320 says, oh boy, this is going to be a long one. My mod is the Kids Life mod. When you start a new world, you would be a small child. You can't break certain blocks like obsidian and diamond. You're also only 1 block tall. You'll have a bed, and if you don't sleep at that time, you get slowness, and you'll have around 3/4 of the strength you usually have. If you don't sleep for several days, debuffs will get worse, and you'll eventually die. You can eat sugar, make candy from it. The sugar and candy you make with it will do around 2 to 3 hunger and give a temporary speed and jump boost. However, the boost only lasts 30 seconds, and then you get hunger. I mean, this is great. I love this. Then after getting a little bit of experience, you turn into a teenager. You'll be stronger, still have a bedtime, but it's later. You can go more days without sleep, and 3/4 tall. Well, a block and 3/4 tall, right? So not quite 2 blocks tall, like a normal Minecraft player, person, girl, boy, doesn't matter. You'll be able to eat the sugar, but you can still make candy. And when you get 20 XP, become an adult. Regular 2 blocks tall. Oh, there it is. And also think of adding new mods like teddy bears and unicorns. A mod when you're a small child, and spawn less frequently when you're a teenager, and then stop spawning at all when you're an adult, which is really, really cool. I love all the different effects that you would have from childhood to adulthood. Really cool. Pikachu 500,000 said, I would create an exercise mod. You could work out with a treadmill, punching sack, weights, and more to get character potion effects to be more fit in their Minecraft world. It would also add a weight to your character in the game. And that's a great idea. Like, so you run on a treadmill for a long time, then you get like a speed boost or something like that, buff. I guess a character buff, and rather than a potion effect, kind of like having a beacon that's always with you. Nice Giraffe 937 says, if I made a mod, and this is a big spoiler to Minecraft Story Mode, I would call it the Wither Storm. In order to summon it, you would need, of course, soul sand, wither skulls, and a glimmering command block, which is 4 iron blocks, 4 diamonds, and 1 redstone block. And basically, you would build it, and it would work just like in Story Mode, which is a really cool idea. And I would bet that someone's already working on that. Now, for me, if I could create a mod, and I use them all the time, but I don't know anything about making them, I would make a different camera mod. All the camera mods that I have or that I've seen, the camera is always stationary, right? I have a camera mod that I can set a path and it'll move around while I'm moving toward it or away from it or whatever. Then I have another mod that I use that I can keep the camera still or have, the camera's always stationary, but I can have it turn toward me when I'm moving, which is cool. But what I would really like is to make a mod where there's a camera that actually follows you. So you could say, stay 5 blocks behind me, right? And so no matter which way I run, or if I'm running, or stay 5 blocks away from me. So if I'm running toward the camera, it will back up, while I'm running at it. And if I'm running away from it, it will follow right behind me. And I could set height, left and right, up and down, and all that stuff. I think that would be an epic mod for me to use in Things Lab. Now for next month's question. It comes to us from Olivia Phillips, and it says, here's a suggestion for the fan comment question thingamajig for next month. If you had to do one thing every single day, I'm adding that part, for an entire year, what would it be? Now, before we get to the questions for me, I want to remind you to leave your question for me in the comments below so I can have something to answer in the next episode. Remember, only 1 question per comment, but you can leave as many comments as you like, so you may get multiple questions answered in one episode. Also, if the comments on this Ask Think are closed, go to the most recent Ask Think and ask your question there. Now, the first question comes to us from Logan Kerr, and it says, question for next month's Ask Think. What was Kopi's original name before you named her Kopi? For me, I have a dog named Max, and his original name was Toke. Well, we got Kopi when she was 8 weeks old, and she didn't have a name yet. Well, I guess what I would say is she was purple collar, because what the breeder had done when we applied to get Kopi and we were approved and all that stuff and put down a deposit and everything, when the dog had a litter, she put different colored collars around each dog, and I think after about 4 weeks, she determined what personality fit what parents. And then she put collars on them and then took a picture and sent it to us. So there was like a red and a yellow and an orange and green, a blue one, and Kopi was the purple collar. And she said, any pictures you see with the purple collar dog, that's your dog. So that was her original name, Purple. Owl Lover says, hey, Think, I remember you saying Kopi was born in November, and I forgot the exact day. What was it? You are correct, and her birthday is this Thursday, November 5th. And of course, the follow-up question is going to be, how old is she? And she is turning 9. Swag Monster says, Think, why is it in some Ask Things you don't put background music? Is it because you forget, or it takes longer for it to render? No, it's just because I forget. Sometimes, from getting the questions, it takes me about an hour and a half to 2 hours to select all the questions, go through them all, and then put them in order, and then, maybe 30 to 40 minutes of gameplay, and then the recording of the audio is another 30 minutes, and then another hour to an hour and a half of editing. By the end of that, I'm like, okay, I got it all done, render it, go! And sometimes I just forget to slap the music in there. The Toad Bros 18 says, look up the ceiling and describe it in 3 words. Slightly water damage. Yeah, I don't know. I'm in a new apartment. I think you guys know that. And for some reason, there's it looks like there's some water damage on the ceiling. There's like a weird, I don't know. It looks like, I don't know. It looks a little weird. Also, it's very high. David Amato says, hey, Think, I noticed you changed your outro art. Was it a fan that did the art, or did you do it yourself? Neither. The person who did my outro art is Inkbite, and he does most of the characters for the Things Lab episodes, for the thumbnails, and did my old outro as well. G the Riot says, Think, when you need IGNs for Things Lab, you always post on Twitter, but what about us who don't have Twitter? I've talked about this briefly before, and I don't remember where. Maybe it was in an Ask Thing, but I really don't know any other way to get the instant feedback from you. If I were to post a video, and I would never do this because it's not a very entertaining video asking you for IGNs, but it would take time to get the IGNs. If I were to, I don't know, I can't even think of another way to do it. It's just Twitter is the perfect medium for that. For asking for IGNs, because I can just say it and right away I start getting your IGN, and I can start putting them right into the world. Julia D asks, do you have any phobias? Yeah, I do. In real life, I am terrified of snakes and spiders. Little spiders. So it's like this. If it's a small spider, like really small, and I'm not afraid of daddy long legs either, but if it's a small spider, it's hard to explain. Like, there's a certain size that I'm like, I don't even care. I'll just squish it with my thumb. I don't really care, or my toe. I'm not afraid of that, of a certain size. Once they get over a certain size or hair on them, you know what it is? You know what it is? I know what it is. I know what it is with the spiders. If you can start to see the bends in their legs, so that they're really small and you can't really see the bend in their leg, I'm not really that scared of them. As soon as you can see their knees, freaks me out. Ooh, I'm right now I'm thinking of how they look, and it just, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Okay, next. Juno Cohen's says, how many fans have you met just walking with Kobe in the streets of Manhattan? Well, you know, I would say, so over the last, well, it's been almost 4 years I've been on YouTube. And over the last 4 years, I'd say the first 3 years, 0. In the last year, probably a dozen. And I think that's a few things. That's one, because my channel's grown a lot in the last year. And it's always has to do with Kobe. Well, actually more than a dozen, because I saw a dozen fans like one day, but they were all together, so it was, coincidence. But yeah, I would say more like almost 20 then. But the way that it always works, and every time it always is, it's Kobe that attracts the attention. She's such a cute dog. She looks friendly. She's happy, and loves kids. So people will come up to her or me and start petting her and ask her name. And as soon as I say Kobe, the name clicks, because it's just like, wait a minute, that is a really rare name. And I'm in New York, and it's a golden retriever, and they start, the 2 + 2 = 4 + 2 = 6. It starts adding up, and they're like, wait a minute. And that's how everyone figures it out. Kelly Kawhi says, since I think is once a month, do you wait until the last day to record the background or edit and do all that earlier? No, usually it really depends, but so I'm doing the audio now, and recording it, and I'm gonna see how long it is, and then I will do the background gameplay afterward. Silver Dennis asks, did you dress for Halloween? No, and I totally regret it, and here's why. Well, so what we did for Halloween is we went to my wife's parents' house. They live in Brooklyn, so they have a house, like an actual house, instead of an apartment. People can walk up, knock on the door, ring the doorbell, that sort of thing. And we dressed up Kobe, but we didn't dress up. And gave out candy, and and also ate a lot of it. But but that's a different story, or a different part of the same story. But no, I didn't. And when we went home, I totally thought, oh man, I wish I had worn my Think Noodles t-shirt that I wore to Minecon, because that would have been really cool. But yeah, next time. Bio Bruce says, dude, please play Splatoon, please. I will. I finally got everything I need for my Wii U setup. I got the Wii U. I got a capture device, and I bought a new gaming monitor. So everything is in place for me to play any Wii U game. I had to play Super Mario Maker on the gamepad screen. Was really small. So that no longer a problem. The kids filming asks, can you ever show Think's wife's face? That is totally up to her. I mean, she's beautiful. I love to show her off. But that's really, really up to her. Silver Dennis asked, did any trick-or-treaters that came to your house recognize you? Like I said before, I think maybe if I'd worn the t-shirt, maybe, although I only saw 1 or 2 Minecraft Steves. I was actually, I was telling my wife, I was like, where are all the Minecraft players? And she's like, uh-oh, nobody likes Minecraft anymore. I'm like, yeah, right. Maya Avanon asks, how did you meet Novacat or Abby Studios, your animators? They're both noodlers, fans just like you who have a talent for drawing and animation. And Abby, I think she had originally tweeted me, or someone had tweeted me one of her animations. I was like, wow, this is amazing, and I liked her video, and tweeted about her and all that stuff, and followed her on Twitter, and we've been friends ever since. And then Novacat has been a fan since I can't even remember, and always done really, really good drawings. And then one time she said, I want to animate some stuff, so she did. M. Prin asks, hey, Think, what was the last injury you got? It was a while ago. I was doing a lot of CrossFit. If you don't know what that is, it's like a fitness program with Olympic style lifting, weights, and a lot of pull-ups and things like that. A lot of repetition, and I was overdoing it. I was going 6 days a week. And you know what I did? I hurt my shoulder on one day. We had to do 100 pull-ups, and I don't know, I hurt my shoulder pretty bad. And that was the last injury I had gotten because I stopped doing it after that. Joshua Yao asks, why do you not talk about gaming show in my parents' garage in any of your videos? Well, you know, it's really not, it really just doesn't come up as a topic when I'm doing my videos. I mean, I have other things that I'm talking about or doing. But yeah, I mean, what I do is I make the videos just like I would a Thing Slab or a Noodle Planet video or anything like that. I make that on my computer, then I send it off to their production people. So it's not like I'm going to the studio, recording with them or anything like that. Everything that you see there, I mean, I've done a couple of Skype multiplayer videos with Jesse, but never actually been there. Graham Lee asks, hey Vink, have you ever noticed a New York accent in your voice? Oh, well, I've always thought that I don't have an accent. I used to never have an accent, but I know there are certain words that I say, and as soon as I say them, I detect the New York accent, and I hate it. But I can't help it. It's like you cannot. I try, but it just comes out that way. Ninja Gamer asks, what do you do with your old phones? Generally, I sell them on like Gazelle or Amazon or whatever for credit. This year, when we got the new ones, we actually turned them into the wireless carrier because they gave us like a huge credit for turning them in when we got our successes. LD Dragon Lady says, hey Vink, have you ever fallen asleep while playing Minecraft or recording? Because once I was watching one of your videos and I fell asleep. Hey! Are you trying to say I'm boring? See, wow. How rude. Oh my, no, I'm kidding. Not while recording, definitely not. While playing, if I'm doing something really, really tedious, especially when my wife was working crazy hours, she still does, but not as bad. I would get really tired and start to doze off, definitely. But I'm kidding about the rude thing. People say, for some reason, that my voice is really soothing to them, and you're not the first person to say that my voice could put them to sleep. Sounds horrible though, right? Raul Victor says, hey Think, so how do you feel about all the people that are complaining about some characters in Minecraft Story Mode saying certain words that I wouldn't normally put on my channel and they're blurred out, like you said? Well, here's the thing. Dan and I have talked about this ourselves. I am not a fan, neither is he. I really wish, because these games are rated E for everyone, and I really wish that they had just left it. I mean, I know they're not really, really terrible words, but they're things I avoid on my channel, and Dan avoids on his own channel, and there's no need for those words in it. And having an E for everyone rating, I really wish they had steered away from any of that topic or conversation, or there's just no reason for it. It just didn't need to be in there, and I was upset by it too. The Awesome 12 asks, hey Think, why did you cancel the parody where it has your lab? I didn't. I just took it out of the description because it's been almost a year since I did the commission, and I'm not sure how much longer it's gonna be, and I didn't want to keep promising in every episode saying coming soon, so I just took it out of the description. Decent Beetle asks, Think, have you ever got an F in grade school? No, not in grade school, but I did in college. Grade school, high school, and everything, they were really easy for me. Especially my last 2 years of high school. I came from a really hard high school, international school, to a public school in California that, I'd done pretty much everything already. So I didn't do homework. I didn't do anything in those classes, and I got really lazy, and I got by just fine. And it set me up for my first semester in college, where I tried to continue getting by without doing any work, and it really doesn't work well in college. Rainy Puff MC says, Think, help. I watch your survival and I want to play on my own, but every time I try and open it, it crashes and freezes. I'm on Mac OS X Snow Leopard. So So first of all, that is a really, really, really old version. Gosh, I would say Snow Leopard is 7 or 8 years old. So you may want to update your operating system. If you can't, check your Java version. That's what it sounds like to me. CJ asks, will you play the new Stranded Deep update when it comes out? It has better waves and variety of terrain, but I think you'll create a new game. Well, you can actually play it if you go into Steam and opt into the beta. You can play it, and you're right. You would have to start a new game, which I'm not gonna do. What I may do though is because once I get a little bit further in Stranded Deep, there may be another game that I transition into that is quite similar. Michelle Perez asks, how did you learn to edit videos? I want to start making gaming videos, but I have no idea where to start editing and recording one. Trial and error. I started just with a basic editing program and didn't do much editing in the beginning. I'm sure you can look back and tell. And then just as time went on, I tried different things. I saw other people's videos and said, I wonder how they would, how they did that. I wonder if I could do that. And trying things out. Dark Diamond asks, can you do more collaborations with other YouTubers like Dan, James, and blah, blah? Well, we are going to be starting our new series soon. Dan's hand is fixed. So we still have some, I guess, performance issues on the server that we need to iron out. But yeah, we will soon. Pasa123 asks, what did you use to record when you first started YouTube? I think I think that I started with ScreenFlow. I don't use it anymore, but I think I started with ScreenFlow. I have to look back. Maybe, yeah, I think so. Anyway, and then I used it was like this old USB Logitech microphone that I got, and it was meant for just like, just like chatting with your friends and stuff. It wasn't meant for voice recordings or anything like that. Those were the things I started with in my Pop Tropica video, and then I got a Blue Snowball before I got this mic. Swag Monster asks, maybe you should start a gaming channel. Not games like GTA, but games that everyone suggests. Since you are getting all these new games that people want you to play, still keep it family friendly. Like you said in your previous Ask Things, they will follow me over the gaming channel. True, they would. But there's no reason for that. It's just that, it's not that I don't want to put out 3, 4, 5 videos a day. Well, I mean, that would be bad. But either way, I just don't have the time to play all these games and record all these games and edit and upload and render all of these games out. So if I were to play all of these games, I have no problem playing them on my channel. I mean, already, I'm not a Minecraft only channel. You can tell I got Stranded Deep, I have Clash of Clans, Fan Choice Fridays, those are random, The Sims, and I have all these other games, and I don't need a separate channel for gaming. Nova Cat asks, do you edit, work silently, or do you listen to music? Well, when I'm editing, it's always in silence because I need to hear what's going on in the video, and if there's music playing in the background, I might not hear something, or it might coincide, I might miss something. So I always edit silently. I do listen to music occasionally, like when I'm just playing. When I do the background for this, I'll probably listen to music while I'm playing. And also when I was picking out the comments for this, I was listening to music as well. Dr. James Gaming says, what type of recording software do you use? I have a Mac and I saw your cursor. I use a software called Voila. It's available in the Mac App Store, and it's actually really reasonably priced. I think it's around $30, and it records in 60 FPS. It does a pretty good job. Sketch Dash says, has there ever been a time when you had no motivation to make videos at all? Yes! Last Tuesday! Yeah, last Tuesday, I started early. I was like, I'm a little bit ahead. I'm going to start working on Things Lab. I built everything for the Wednesday Things Lab, and I started recording it on Tuesday. And I don't know what happened, and I guess the previous question, my recording software wouldn't, I recorded for about, an hour and 45 minutes. Got almost the whole Things Lab recorded, and then I realized that the recording software had locked up, and I had to force quit it and lost the recording. I was like, oh my goodness. So I went, I had lunch, came back, did it again, and it happened again. And I was furious. And I did not want to record anything else for the rest of the day. I was so upset. Rin Wa asks, how do you record mobile apps? Did you jailbreak your devices? No. One of the great things about 10.10 is that it allows you and the Voila recording software that I use, even QuickTime I think you can use. All you need to do is plug in your iDevice, whatever it is, tablet or whatever, iPad or iPhone, and you can record straight off of it. You don't need a jailbreak. Rams Prescott asks, why did you make the like targets lower for Things Lab? You know, the number that I put really is irrelevant. If I put 75 million or 42, it doesn't matter. It's more about just reminding people, hey, if you enjoyed it, please click the like button, help me out, because it does really help out my videos and my channel when you guys click the like button, the favorite button, subscribe, and all that stuff. Really, really sends out social signals and things like that that help out my channel. So I just thought it'd be more fun, and I love people not knowing what the number 42 means. And if you don't know what it means, go ahead and Google the number 42, and it will tell you, it'll give you an idea of why I chose that particular number. Button to the Max asks, when Kevin met Julie at the TNT factory for the first time, was that by accident? Yes, it was completely by accident. Rinwa asks, to what extent are Things Labs improv and what extent are they planned and scripted? You know, basically, I mean, I guess there are a few that are fairly scripted. I mean, obviously my my Christmas special last year was fully scripted, but really, really not much scripting at all. Of course, there's planning. I mean, with building things and you know, putting in characters and things like that. Of course, those are planned. But as far as being scripted, they're mostly completely improv. Grace Sosi asks, can you use beacons in the Nether? Yes, you can. Although I think you have to punch a hole above it, like I did with the dark oak trees in the Noodle Planet. So you can use them, but you do need, or you could put it on the roof of the Nether, right? Once you get up there. But I don't think you're gonna see the beam. I don't think it'll show the beam, but it'll still create the effect. Peapod asks, in Things Lab, what mod do you use to make yourself and the zombies animated? It also works for spiders, zombies, and me, I think. I don't think it does skeletons. I don't think. So what the mod that I use for that is called the Mo Benz mod. Madison Crispy asks, think how many minions are in the lab? I would say around 150 at this point. Dancing Dolphin 973 Rose asks, do you still dress up for Halloween? If you do, what for? When I read this, I was like, are you saying I'm too old to have fun at Halloween? Well, adults do dress up for Halloween, and I still do. Well, one, because it's fun, but two, a lot of times we dress up to go to parties. All right, guys, that's it for this episode of Ask Think. Don't forget to leave your question in the comments below so I can have something to answer next month. I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. And of course, Noodle on!